And now let's meet an authority on spot and stain removal.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Max Alth.
Number 2.
My name is Max Alth.
And number 3.
My name is Max Alth.
All right, read along, panel. Make some notes as I tell you how Max Alth handles spots. I, Max Alth, can tell you how to get that spot out. Let's face it, there's not a household anywhere that at one time or another hasn't had a problem of how to get rid of a spot or stain. Maybe you already know what to do about blood, lipstick, ink, and food stains. But would you know how to handle bug stains, grass stains, skunk odor and stain? And what about tobacco juice and model airplane glue, fish mucus, and horse saliva, huh? What would you do about those? Well, I tell you how to handle all of the above and dozens more in a book which I co-authored. It's called The Stain Removal Handbook, signed Max Alth. Well, I guarantee if he's got a chapter on how to get mozzarella and pepperoni stains out, I'll buy the book, because it's murder. All right. Peggy, we're going to start with you.
Thank you. Number 3, I know the answer, so you be careful. How do you get rid of skunk odors on dogs? Thank you. Number 1, in Europe they have a novel way of getting grease stains out of like Pucci dresses. Could you please tell me what they do if you spill spaghetti sauce on yourself in an Italian restaurant in Italy?
Well, they usually pour a little Fugi water on you.
Thank you. And number 2, this is a little bit delicate, but what do you do about rugs when you have dogs?
Well, you're very careful.
No, I'm careful. It's the dog that isn't careful. The dog is careless.
You chastise the dog, you send him or her out of the room, and you take a piece of toilet paper and you remove as much of the soil as you possibly can. As a guide to general cleaning, I would use a little cold water first to remove as much of the remaining soil as possible.
Number 2, I always thought it was club soda, no?
That's for drunks.
What do you mean it's for drunks? What do you mean club soda's for drunks?
I've heard that a lot, but I would never use club soda.
No?
No.
But why do you say club soda's for drunks?
Because that's what it goes with, drinks.
Oh, I see. Gee, I thought I was onto something there. Number 3, how do you get lipstick stains off white shirts?
You blot up the lipstick first with a little clean cloth, and then you run for the oil solvent, which is a lot of little products that are known as oil cleaners, oil solvents, because wax is in lipstick. And then you use a...
Well, half answer you got there, Peggy. Bill Cullen.
Number 1, can you remove spots from pure silk?
It's quite difficult.
Do you have a method in your book for it?
Yes, there are several methods. Your best way, silk can't take water. It really shouldn't. Modern silk. The best way would be with an oil solvent.
Number 2, is there anything in your book that tells you how you, a person at home, can remove a spot that otherwise would have to be sent to the cleaners for professional cleaning?
When you say a spot, you cover a wide range, so there could be grease spots, butter spots, it could be almost anything. I would say that what you should do is examine the spot and in relation to the cloth decide what you're going to do. And if it's tough or if your garment is very valuable, I wouldn't even try it. I just rush it down to the dry cleaner.
Number 3, what is it the dry cleaner can do that we can't do?
Remove spots that we can't remove.
I mean, what do they do? But is it all that much a secret, or do they have equipment that we do not have?
Well, they have a different cleaning solution, and certain fabrics cannot stand water. So, say silks can't stand water. Certain wools you really shouldn't hand wash or spot wash. And if you do spot wash them to a degree, with a little bit, you still got to clean the whole garment.
Number 1 was...
Kitty.
Well, that's fascinating. Number 1, what do you clean with French chalk? What comes out with French chalk?
French chalk will take grease out of leather gloves.
Thank you. Number 3, why is it that you can't use water on silk today? You could in the past.
Well,
What is in the silk that makes it different?
Well, it depends which kind. You mean pure silk?
Yeah.
Well, it leaves sort of a water stain.
Uh-huh. Well, now, number 2, I'm not apt to run into fish mucus or horse saliva or airplane glue, but I would like to know what to do about that blood and ink.
Well, you've picked 2 hard ones. The first thing you should do with blood, again, is to try to blot up as much as possible. Then, if the garment can be washed, if it will take water, you
Yeah.
can use a little cold water.
No, very hot, I thought.
No.
Very
no.
hot.
Hot water will set all stains, in fact, almost all things. And hot water will coagulate blood.
And what about the ink?
It depends upon the kind of ink and the kind of clothes that you have, the kind of cloth that you're
thank
dealing
you.
with.
Number 3, what about red wine stains on white tablecloths?
Well,
I think that's good for club soda, no? Because number 2 said drunks. Drunks, yeah.
Well, red wine, you really should flush it with cold water first. And then you should try a little bit of salt. You start making a salad, you know. And then you try a little soapy water. Club soda, you know,
You throw it away, Peggy
then you
said.
get some dye.
Nipsey.
Number 1, what is your whole first name?
My whole first
Yeah, I
name,
know it's-
Max.
Not Maxine.
No, it is not Maxine.
Okay, number 2, what does one use to remove stains like nail polish and hairspray?
Well, nail polish is difficult because it's basically a plastic dissolved in some kind of solvent like an acetone.
Tell them about
So
the
if it's-
hairspray, Max.
Hello?
Tell them about the hairspray. I want to hear it.
Well, that's an example of what can happen
Okay,
to you,
let me
you
rush
see.
to another question. Number 3, how does one remove a rust spot?
Well, rust is, you really should,
Okay.
that's a goodie. You
All
really
right,
should flush
let me
that.
skip the goodie and go to number 1. If you took another substance other than cloth, how would you remove a stain like from a bathtub?
Well, if it's rust, you have to use dilute
Now, I mean, say if you're
hydrochloric.
washing your hair and you wash hair dye into the surface of the enamel, how do you get that stain out of enamel?
You would have to use, I can't use a term, a cleansing powder with a bleaching agent.
Okay, number 1, number 2, do you do it with...
Oh, no, that's all you're going to get. No more free advice. You're going to have to buy the book, Nips, because right now you're going to have to vote. Do you think it's number 1? Or do you think it is number 2? Or do you think it is number 3? All right, Peggy, you got us started. How did you vote?
Well, number 1 doesn't know that in Italy they always throw a whole bunch of talcum powder on your dress when you get grease on it. And 2, I didn't like his method for dogs. But number 3, look at how light her suit is. Expanses of light material. She's fearless. And actually, she knows how to take the spots out.
Okay, logic. Bill Cullen.
Old man used to come around in my neighborhood, mixed a potion that would remove any kind of spot at all, and India ink, blood, lipstick, anything. I carry it with me all the time. I voted for number 1.
You didn't mark it.
Huh?
You didn't mark it.
Yes, I did, but some of my stuff ran on.
Yeah! You know what he did? He threw it out and he got it right here. And he just reeled me in. Nice going, Cullen. Boy, you really reeled me in. Kitty, I'm afraid to ask you, but you too nice a lady to do it to
No,
me
I
like
didn't do that. No,
All right.
I voted for number 2 because I thought that he gave me some good. They all gave good answers, and they all gave some answers that I thought weren't absolutely correct.
All right. Nipsey, you're the tiebreaker.
Well, I went for number 2 because I do know that cold water dissipates and warm water coagulates substances like blood.
Okay, the votes are all in. Let's ask that great question. Will the real Max Alth please stand up? Okay. Let's find out who the imposters are right now. Number 1, what is your name and what do you do?
My name is Roberta Weissman. I teach business at Uppsala College in East Orange, New Jersey.
Okay. Number 3, what is your name and what do you do?
My name is Charlotte Bose, and I'm a commercial real estate salesman for Vincent Parator.
Very good. We got it.
Well, a most enjoyable spot, a most enjoyable visit. Max, thank you very much.
You're
and
quite
thank you,
welcome,
our
sir.
2 imposters, for playing our game. Thank you very much.
Our
Our central characters today will receive Mr. Coffee. Joe DiMaggio says Mr. Coffee with exclusive coffee saver saves coffee, saves money. And Bissell's dual-powered light vac, strong suction for all floor surfaces, Vibra-Clean Brush Bissell. And original from Yardley, a famous British fragrance for men. Give him original cologne and aftershave by Yardley.